Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back in to Infinity Broadcasting here for the IRWC presents the Legends World Challenge here for round number 2 of Season 2 here with Sebring Club Circuit. It's going to be one hell of a challenge for these drivers to traverse around this circuit after a massive round last week at Belle Isle. Sebring is going to be yet another test, yet it is not surrounded by concrete barriers like the previous circuit. We've been Tommy commentator this afternoon. Hamish Munro bringing you all the action through sight and sound here on Infinity Broadcasting as we get into round 2 here tonight. Qualifying has begun for these drivers out on track, and we will we'll suss up who could possibly get up onto this top step of the podium here. There's quite a few drivers out there already. Jack Anderson already setting times here in the qualifying session. Riley Skinner as well is out on track, as well as Tyson Handler. Chase Tippett fresh into the field, so was Riley Skinner. TJ Pollard fresh into the field as well as Aiden Williams too. He is also fresh into the series here this afternoon. We've also got Tom Brown returning. Ashton Reed still in the field. Joshua Benau still in the field as well. Jordan Ferguson, the regular heroes of the circuit, as well as I mentioned, defending champion Jack Anderson out in the field this afternoon. So we'll see how they go. Of course, the regular setup here, the old 10-minute qualifying, 10-minute heat race, a couple of minutes of warm-up, and then the 15-minute feature to finish us up for an hour of a beautiful piece of the world here in Florida for the Sebring Club Circuit. Of course, this circuit best known for the Sebring 12-hour and other endurance events like that, as well as some club racing, of course, and other sports car racing as well. So this place is it's a personal favourite of quite a lot of people. If you're unaware of how the track layout works for this particular layout, this is how it is set up. So it is the top part of the Sebring circuit. We will check back in with the track map throughout the afternoon to see where some drivers might be, where they might end up, and how they might be rocking and rolling throughout qualifying here. As we will get up, our timing tower to see how the times are looking at the moment as we are 5 minutes into the session. Riley Skinner is provisional pole position with 1:14.90. Anderson's gone P2 with a 1:15.19 as he's now spun it round right in front of, I believe that was Chase Tippett who came past him. It was Chase. Aiden Williams is currently P3 with a 1:15.26, same as Tyson Handler, although there is 3 thousandths of a second between them. Joshua Benau's back in P6, Jordan Ferguson P7 on the road at the moment. TJ Pollard P8, he spins it out on the back straight here. Ashton Rees is in P9, and then Tom Brown is making up the top 10. Jacos is already in the chat. Pozole to you, warts heavily. Jack Oz, as we could be in for a massive afternoon of racing here for the Legends World Challenge. If you guys haven't already, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, and the bell icon so you are notified whenever we go racing here on Infinity Broadcasting with your iRacing World Challenge action forward to you, whether it's the Legends World Challenge or whether it's anything else that we plan on running in the future as well, or any private events that may be broadcasted here on the channel. Of course, last December, had the pleasure of broadcasting the Aussie Car Tin Top Cup. Had to fill in for Jay Kennedy on that occasion. So there are opportunities for some private stuff or even some one-offs as well to happen on the channel. So you do not want to miss out on it if you are enjoying the content as usual. If you guys want to see what happened in the SRW side of things for the Legends World Challenge, then head on over to SRW TV on YouTube as well. The Friday night was unbelievable out here at Sebring. Of course, 2 conglomerate series running side by side. One over here in iRacing World Challenge, the other one over in SRW, and both have been creating some fantastic racing so far this season. And there's so much more to come. I mean, we still have 5 more rounds after this for the iRacing World Challenge. There are 7 more rounds for SRW. So there is so much action to come. You do not want to miss any of it. Registration's still open if you want to enter one or the other, or both. The iRacing World Challenge variant of the Legends World Challenge. The Discord link is in the description of this stream. You click on that link. Come and join us in Discord and then register in the registration area. If you want to sign up for the SRW one, then head on over to www.simracingworld.com.au. That is www.simracingworld.com.au. Register as a driver on the website, then send a message to the Sim Racing World TV or SRW Facebook page with a proof of registration. They will then send you a Discord invite. You can come in and sign up for the Legends. Then if you wanted to race in any of their other series, you'd have to be a subscribing member of the SRW community to race in the other series. But Legends World Challenge, it's been growing. We had a magnificent season 1. We had so many memorable moments on circuit. Personal favourite of mine was Winton, the last couple of laps. The drag race to the line for P3. Long Beach was quite good as well. So was Belle Isle. So much has already been on offer over Season 1 and here in the start of Season 2 as well. And there is, there's so much more that can occur this season. Of course, we go to Alton Park next week. Well, let's see the return of Jordan Ferguson's form. He has not been in form ever since we left Alton Park last season. We left dem ends of Jordan's. And, well, can he get back up to speed in this championship and put a proper challenge into this championship? Remembering, he was in the fight for that title up until the very last race at Belle Isle last season. He was in it till the end. It was because he had a strong start to the season. So we'll see if he can pull everything together and if he can have a good go of it here this season. If we can get a good finish tonight, that'll be a good way for him to start things off, remember. And it'll be a good chunk of points for him. I'm hearing a knock at my door from my cat at the moment. So I'll quickly go see what he wants. We'll sit on board with Aiden Williams as he comes around for another lap. And we'll see how he challenges this Sebring Club Circuit. Oh, it seems we've had a bit of a blinking issue here. Oh, no, that's why. Qualifying has come to an end. So we've actually been cut off there from the lap by Aiden Williams in his final opportunity. We'll get the grid started up, though, for race number 1 here this afternoon. We're not at round 6, we're at round 2. So we'll get this sorted. There we go. It'll be Riley Skinner starting on pole position ahead of Jack Anderson on the front row of the grid. Tyson Hanma, Aiden Williams. P3 and P4, Chase Tippett will start ahead of Joshua Benau for the third row. Jordan Ferguson, TJ Pollard on the fourth. Ashton Rees and Tom Brown will then start alongside each other, and Ben Faulkner will start in P11 on the road here tonight. We'll see if we'll be able to pull some more miraculous drives out of him here tonight or this afternoon, and if he can continue his winning ways in the series. 11 cars, a short, sharp little club circuit here at Sebring. What could possibly go wrong? We could be in for some monumental carnage here this afternoon, or we could be also on for some fantastic racing between all the drivers as well. We're just awaiting Riley Skinner and Joshua Benau to get onto the grid here this afternoon. Once they are on grid, we will have all 11 drivers out there on track, rearing and ready to go and to have a crack at Sebring. I'm excited. This track has, it already proved to me on Friday evening when the SRW Legends World Challenge ran here, you can have some fantastic racing. It can lead to some monumental moments around this place, and with a field like this, we could be on for something special here this afternoon. Riley Skinner now, just the only driver to get onto the grid, the pole sitter. We'll see if he does make the grid here in race number 1, and if he does, he has indeed. So there he is on pole ahead of Jack Anderson. We'll keep an eye on who's going to get the jump down towards turn 1. Skinner and Anderson on the front row. Hanmer and Williams will be hounding them in behind. Who is going to get the benefits of the rewards of their good qualifying position in this race? Will we get any carnage going forward as well? Will anyone absolutely bottle it off the line? Lights are up now, though. Drivers are getting ready to go for Sebring Club Circuit, race number 1 for round number 2 here of the Legends World Challenge. And we are go. They all light it up on the line. Big old puff of smoke like fireworks on a holiday, and Anderson is absolutely rocketed off the line and into P1 already through turn 1 off Riley Skinner. They go side by side down towards turn 3. We'll see if they can hold it together here for the first lap. They're still side by side. Hanmer's all over the back of them at the moment. Brown's gone round in the background, and he's now off the track as the top 3 are all amongst it here in the battle for the lead of this race. Skinner, Anderson, Hanmer, Williams, they're all a part of it. Ferguson's had a bit of a knock in the background by, I believe, De Vries. Pollard has also had a bit of a moment as well. Faulkner's trying to come back through the field. I believe he may be carrying some damage as Skinner is looking to run away early here from Jack Anderson and Tyson Hanmer at the front of the field. Aiden Williams is lurking in the background. Chase Tippett, both those guys are unknowns at the moment here to the Legends World Challenge as they come into the final sector of this Sebring Club Circuit. And the battle is on for the lead of this race. Top 8 cars are all separated by less than a second between themselves as they come through the final corner. The fast run up towards the line. And you can see the gap between Pollard and Ferguson at the moment. The P8 on the road, that's the biggest gap we have right now, apart from Tom Brown to Ben Faulkner at the back of the field, but it is Riley Skinner who leads the way. John Ferguson in the chat saying, what? Some say Jack is the king. Well, he has got the number 1 on his side of his car for a reason. I'm not sure how Riley Skinner's actually gotten the number on his door like that. That's very interesting how that's actually been placed on the car. I'm not sure how that's occurred. Might need to ask him about that, because that's actually pretty cool to have it just on the top of the door there. As Chase Tippett's having a bit of a dropout in the background, but he is back. Bit of a blink for him. Hopefully he doesn't have 182 of them. As they rocket their way down to one of the better passing opportunities on this track. The end of the back straight, under brakes, you can tuck it up the inside, get yourself a nice tight run, and then rocket on through the chicane on the exit. You see they're all in their rhythm now though. 2.5 minutes into this race, they've got 6.5 minutes to go, or 7.5 minutes to go, sorry, around the final corner. Custom double take, got ya. I got you now. 6.5 minutes to go in this race, or 7.5 minutes. I've done it again. I've gotten it wrong twice in a row. And Skinner is leading from the front. He's got a good amount of pace on him here in this car as we go on board with him now. And this is how the field looks. Best times on the board. Faulkner has gone fastest in this field since the start of the race, but there are the gaps at the moment as they come into the second sector of this track. De Vries has now managed to get past Ferguson in the background into the tight twisting section of what would be Sector 1 into Sector 2 of the regular Sebring International Circuit. Of course, this is the second into third sector for the club circuit here this afternoon. Off the back now of Riley's car, you can see the gap back to Anderson into the braking zone. See if he makes any immediate gains under brakes. Oh, maybe a little bit of a gain, maybe a little bit, not too much. Maybe carrying a little bit more pace through that section. And up towards the final corner. They're looking good at the moment. We'll check out the suspension movement on this thing. Oh my God, it is bumpy. Oh, look at the unload of the car through some of these corners. That is absolutely insane how much rear suspension movement this car has as we continue on through up towards the halfway point of this race. 4 minutes in now, lap 4. Remembering they're doing about 1 minute 14s to 1 minute 17, so we should probably get, I'd say, 8 laps out of this race. As Skinner is leading from the front at the moment, this battle has started to it's getting into a bit of a simmer. We're not quite at the boiling over point just yet. They are getting into their stride, trying to stay consistent. This would be a great chunk of points for Anderson over the rest of the field here this afternoon if he can solidify this P2. Jordan Ferguson saying some say the version of the track is made for these cars. Jordan, I tell you what, after speaking to after speaking to the podium finishers on Friday afternoon, we raced at this place for IRWC Legends World Challenge. They all said this track right here is great for a bit of club racing, great for some little pocket rockets like these, and I agree with you. This track is made for these cars. These cars are made for this track. It is a perfect combination if there ever was one. You know, good amount of corners, good amount of straights. You're not really peaking the throttle too much around here. Not really getting all the way down the gears. But you are able just to have some rocketing amount of fun in some spectacular cars. And I think the love for these cars is getting more and more. Ben Faulkner, he is still in P9 on the moment. He's unable to catch up to Ferguson right now, but I believe he is carrying a bit of damage on that car, so it is hurting him. Maybe he's running the play of, let's finish in P9, start P3 of the next race, and have a better opportunity to get away with a win here tonight. Skinner is still leading to Anderson at the moment. Tom Brown is still struggling at the back of the field with a wild run off track in the 6.9. Oh, that's a big moment into the wall for Brown. And he is just struggling like nobody's business at the back of the field. As Anderson is still putting this pressure on, but now is all over the place trying to stay ahead of Aiden Williams and Ash DeVries. He's unable to at this point in time. Ferguson may even be able to get past him here up the inside if he's willing to tuck it into the final corner. Not quite able to do it this time. Forcing that inside defensive line from Banau, though. This is getting into a great little battle. We've got 3.5 minutes to go of this race. And the mid-pack battle is absolutely on here for young and old. Williams and DeVries, they're battling for P5. For Ferguson and Banau, they're battling for P7. If any of them ever coming together, it's going to be a free position for Ben Faulkner, who's lurking in behind. And maybe they've got the mindset of run away from Ben. Don't let him get near you. He'll pass you pretty quickly. Just try and stay ahead as long as possible. Tom Brown has now gone into the pit lane. 3 minutes left of race number 1. We're on lap 6 at the moment. I think we're pretty well online to get to 8 laps here for race number 1. As Skinner still leads the way into the end of the back straight. He'll cross the line with roughly 2.5 minutes to go. And he looks to have a perfect run home. Now, he did lose the lead, so he hasn't led every single lap of this race. He hasn't had the fastest lap either, but he did start on pole. And he'll be looking to get the old double bubble happening and getting the win off the back of that as well. So 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. DeVries has now gotten past Aiden Williams, into turn 1. So he's got that move done in the Family Guy Era 404 machine. And the City Chevrolet entry of Aiden Williams will be hoping to try and get this move back done here across the final 2 laps. But now has a massive wide run off the track. Very, very lucky to stay ahead of Ferguson. Just an unfortunate moment there for him. And he will be trying to stay back in this one as Skinner looks ahead up to the final. He has been in dominant form this afternoon, it seems, has Riley Skinner. He's managed now to get this gap out to 1.5 seconds. Hanmer is closing on Anderson, so the battle for P2 is about to be on here. So for the drivers who started in the top 3, they have not swapped and changed positions here up to this point. I mean, yes, they've swapped and changed throughout the race, but they are currently situated how they were on the start line of this race. We've got a minute to go now. It should be the final lap this time by. And Hanmer is putting all sorts of pressure on Jack Anderson right now. At the moment, Riley Skinner has the fastest lap of the race, a 1:14.83 out there. So being not under pressure has allowed him now to run away with this thing as they come up towards the 3rd sector of this circuit. And Anderson is under monumental pressure from Tyson Hanmer. Up towards the braking zone at the end of the straight. Will Anderson cover the inside? He does indeed. Hanmer is even going to be able to find a pathway around Anderson here into the final couple of corners of the Sebring Club Circuit. Hanmer tries to hang it round the outside of Anderson. They're going to go side by side through this sector. Round comes Riley Skinner up towards the start-finish line And on debut, he is going to take a monumental victory here at Sebring Club Circuit. Anderson and Hanmer drag race to the line. Anderson just gets him by 0.05 of a second. Chase Tippett on debut into the top 5. DeVries into the top 5. Williams and Benau come across the line kissing rear ends. Ferguson in P8. TJ Pollard in a struggle comes home in P10. But Riley Skinner, what a run home for him it was. An exceptional performance here in race number 1. And you cannot possibly ask for any more than that as we just await for TJ to cross the line and finish this race. Oh man, that it's settled. It's settled for a little bit in the midpoint of that race. And then it started to heat up a little bit there down towards the end. So we got 15 minutes in this next one. We could be on for one hell of a race because if they had an extra 5 minutes, a battle with Anderson and Hanmer, that could have been a very spicy one. We got a little bit of a taste, a little bit of a lick of that battle. And I am ready to dig into this battle now between Hanmer and Anderson. If this is going to continue of them trying to fight through the field up towards the front, of course, they'll be starting from the back of the field. You know, they'll be swapping and changing positions as they try and make their way through. Of course, it's full reverse grid. Expression session happening now. We're waiting to see when drivers are going to be heading out on track. We haven't got any out there for the expression session just yet. I do believe TJ Pollard is parked up at the end of pit lane. Anderson's not out there. DeVries, Skinner. Is anyone even out there for it? I don't think they are. So we'll wait to see. But we got 5 minutes to chat about what occurred in that race as some of the lying smoke on the ground was still there. Anderson has now come out onto the track for the expression session, so we'll get a bit of a burnout happening here from the defending champion. P2 in that last race, good chunk of points for Anderson, especially amongst such a strong field here. He's done incredibly well. We of course wanted to give a shout out to Rob Carmichael. We hope everything is looking positive off the back of what yourself and your family have been dealing with recently. We hope we can see you back on track again soon with us here in the Legends World Challenge and in IRWC. And just know, mate, that myself and Jack and others' thoughts are with you, and we are hoping that everything is on the up and up for yourself and your family as well. So we've got 3 minutes of the wipe session to go. Jack Anderson drawing us a beautiful little slinky, it seems, with his car. It's quite satisfying watching the donuts start to form as you go around and create that spring. And he's actually now planted the car to not move while he is doing these donuts. But it's just a nice visual. You know, it's a nice visual to see this occurring as the rest of them start to disappear now. Let us know, though, what your thoughts were on race number 1, what you think could occur in race number 2. Remembering, with that reverse grid, Tom Brown will be starting from pole position if he does start this race. As a couple of drivers are now heading out on track. I think that might have been Ben Faulkner leaving pit lane, as Anderson has now blown the engine on that car. There goes Faulkner, round for a couple laps possibly. No, he's doing some practice starts here, it seems. As is, I believe, Tyson Hanmer. So they're getting those practice starts perfected here for race number 2. Of course, Faulkner will be starting from P3 on the road, in behind his teammate Tom Brown and TJ Pollard as well, another competitor, as Anderson continues these donuts for us in a beautiful little expression session. See what is happening on board the car with him here. Wow! The Wario suit on display for us in the car of Anderson doing these donuts. I hope you've got your dizzy pills, because we are going round and round in circles right now with Jack Anderson cutting these donuts for us in this expression session. Let's check the old suspension cam. No, not much movement on the suspension actually for that. And there's, oh, that's the only camera actually. We can see it on the TV camera. So some fantastic expression being held by some of these drivers. Faulkner and Hanmer just running around this circuit, getting the car warmed up. A little bit of expression by them as well. Down into the second sector. Just having a bit of fun here for the final 30 seconds. He's decided to reverse it around this track. I've done this before, actually. It is quite challenging, but quite satisfying if you can pull off a whole lap. And the expression is strong for them right now as they both now begin to attempt it down the back straight in towards the hard braking zone at the end there. No, we are not on the reverse button. These guys are reversing down the circuit here this afternoon. While it's about to end, though, they are about to get cut off the track. And we will go racing for race number 2. 15 minutes of racing to come, ladies and gentlemen, for some exceptional action there. Again, I mentioned we had a little bit of a taste test at the end of that one for what could be coming here in race number 2 as the battle between Hanmer and Anderson started up for us. But race 2 is about to get underway, and pole position is going to be for Tom Brown in this one. And we will check out our results from the last race to get our starting grid for this one. Of course, it is full reverse grid action, so this is how they finished in race number 1. Of course, it was Skinner to Anderson to Hanmer to Tippett to De Vries to Williams to Benow to Ferguson to Faulkner to Pollard to Brown. Flip them around, and that's the grid for race number 2. So it'll be Brown starting ahead of Pollard on the front row of the grid. Then it'll be Faulkner and Ferguson on the second, Benow and Williams on the third, De Vries and Tippett on the fourth row, then Hanmer and Anderson on the fifth, and then Riley Skinner at the very back of the field. That is how they will line up for race number 2, of course. We await the lights to go up, and we await to go racing for 15 more minutes of Sebring Club Circuit here this afternoon. And wow, race 1. I mean, that delivered in some almost perfection level battles. It didn't really heat up that much. Again, it was just a little bit of a sizzle for what could be boiling over into race number 2 here this afternoon. We'll see if De Vries can improve and make his way up the field. If Ferguson can do the same. I mean, he's starting in P4 on the road, so he's got an opportunity for a podium if he can pull this off. We know Anderson and Skinner had some pace, so did Hanmer as well. Williams and Tippett, they're the unknowns, but now he had a pretty good showing last time at Belle Isle. Anything can happen in this field, but Faulkner starting so high up, you have to expect him to get into the lead early and pull away with this thing. We know he's got the pace, we know he's got the ability. It's whether he can put all the puzzle pieces together once again in race number 2. And if he can get himself another victory this season. He missed out in race 1. He was too far back, didn't set a qualifying time, and could not make his way through the field. But whether he can get it done here in race 2 is another question, though. Put your tips into the chat if you would like, and who you think is going to take out race number 2 here this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, lights are going to go up now. It's going to be Brown versus Pollard for the lead of this race down towards turn 1. It was a drag race down in race number 1. And we are go for race 2, and Faulkner has absolutely rocketed off the line into the lead already. Pollard and Brown have been caught napping here early doors as Anderson and Hanmer are continuing their battle. De Vries has spun round a car right in the way of Anderson, and he's been caught out by it. A big moment here early on. Anderson, who got some massive points in race number 1, has already been shot to the back of the field out of second last at the start of this race, and De Vries has now gone around in the background. Needs to be careful of the rejoin, of course. But they are absolutely everywhere right now as Pollard's having to traverse over the grass. He's also dropped back. Some free positions for a couple of drivers out here as Faulkner's already started to run away. Brown's under pressure now from Benow, and Williams in behind him. He's just trying to get inside the lane to be able to tuck in behind them right now. But he's on an outside edge. They're on the inside line. They're blocking him from coming across down into the end of the back straight now into the braking zone. Can Benow get this done? He does indeed. Ferguson is now losing spots to Skinner. Pollard struggling in the background. And the race is on here in race 2. Faulkner's checked out. He's gone up ahead. The battle for P2 is what is important right now, As Benow and Williams are battling this out. Handmer and Brown are trying to work together in their Vermilion machines. Up the inside of Williams. Skinner, though, has done the double and got two in one corner. An unbelievable move there from Riley Skinner. And he now looks to chase down Tyson Handmer for P3 on the road. Skinner has been an absolute revelation tonight. He took back the lead from Anderson in race one. He ran away from him. And now he's trying to commit to the last of first challenge by running his way through the field. But it is almost going to be an insurmountable gap to break down to Faulkner as Brown goes into the wall in the background. Needs to be careful to rejoin. Luckily, he did not collect anyone on the way through. But Ben Faulkner right now leads the way to Josh Bernard, Tyson Handmer, Riley Skinner, as I mentioned, has been a bit of a revelation. Aiden Williams, Jordan Ferguson, TJ Pollard in behind them, Ash DeVries, Chase Tippett, Jack Anderson, and then Tom Brown, who's put it into the wall on the back straight. And the night is only going from bad to worse for him here, as this backpack is just trying to catch up to themselves. An unknown image on the back of that Chase Tippett car. I'm not 100% sure who that is. Maybe we'll need to ask him for some answers, but the battle for P2 is on. But now Handmer and Skinner are all involved. Skinner's trying to tuck it up the inside at turn one once again, but now, though, he's able to cover off on Handmer. Handmer's able to cover off Skinner. And their battle now looks ahead onto lap 3. This is how they look at the moment. There's the gaps. Fastest lap of the race so far goes to Ben Faulkner in the lead of this one. He has done himself a 1:15 dead on the circuit. So he is absolutely rocketing at the front. But this battle for P2 is on right now. But now Handmer, Skinner, all trying to battle this out as Williams is now having to traverse across the sand. That's going to allow Ferguson back through into the top 5. TJ Pollard is now tucked up in behind. We can see Handmer defending the inside line to Skinner. They're going to go too wide into the end of the back straight. And Handmer's just able to cover off and tuck right in ahead of Skinner once again. Up towards the final couple of corners. Tom Brown, unfortunately, has not come back out on track since towing back to pits. Unfortunately, that might be race done and dusted for him, as Faulkner sets another fastest lap of the race as this battle between Handmer and Skinner is on. 1:14.93 between them, as was the fastest lap by Faulkner on the last lap. Handmer is still under immense pressure right now from Skinner in the battle for P3. One of the closest battles we have on track. The other's this one here, Williams and Ferguson in the battle for P5. Everyone has begun to spread out a little bit. There comes Williams up the inside of Ferguson. He took advantage of his wide run in front of Anderson in the background. Tippett lost it nearly, but luckily he did not collect him on the run through the corner. And right now Ferguson is all over the back of Aiden Williams here in the battle for P5. Williams took it off him at the start of this sector. And now Ferguson's going to try and find a lane way through to put the assault back on him, if he can, for a top 5 finish in this race. Handmer and Skinner, their battle is continuing on. TJ Pollard's lost it in the background. He's now going to tuck back into P10. Anderson's all over the back of Tippett here. Up towards the final corner. We'll see if he can get this job done and try and chase down Ash DeVries up the road from him. Tippett covers the inside line from Anderson. Anderson trying to find a line and a lane way around him right now. But Tippett is just covering off on him in the battle for P8 on the road. Pollard's now brought his car into pit lane. Will that be race over for him? I'm not 100% sure. But Anderson is, he has got all the pressure surmounting on Chase Tippett. And he may force a mistake. He has done. Tippett's run it way wide. They're side by side down towards the next couple of corners. Anderson's got the move done, and a brilliant little move there on Tippett. He had to back out of it. Great little move for P8 on the road. Skinner and Handmer, they've now started to spread out a little bit as Handmer's now begun to chase down Josh Benow in P2. Faulkner has absolutely rocketed away 5.5 seconds up the road as they continue on here onto lap 6 of this race. 6 minutes, 20 seconds into this one. But now and Handmer's battle is continuing on, and it has been a feisty one so far, as they look to head up the road to success here. Handmer, this would be a good race for him. He'd be getting another podium under his belt as he's trying to get around Banau now. Skinner would like to get a double podium here tonight. It would win him the round. He only has to finish one position behind Handmer to clarify the round win for himself. If Handmer were to finish 2 ahead of Skinner, he would win based on countback because of the race win. So he has got a little bit of change in his pocket here before he claims the round win, does Riley Skinner. Handmer is all over Banau right now, as it seems they've just settled back in, let the tyres come back down to temp, and they'll get ready for another assault fairly soon. 7.5 minutes into this race now. It was this point in race 1 where the field did settle up a little bit. They got into their groove. They just settled the car back in, ready for a final assault. We missed out on a proper battle between Handmer and Anderson in the last race just because of the fact that we got to the 10-minute limit. You know, if it went 15 minutes, perhaps it would have been a different story and they would have, you know, had a cracking battle all the way to the end. But for the lap that they did battle it out, it was absolutely phenomenal. As Handmer, he's still trying to find a pathway around Skinner. Can't quite get there just yet. He's continuing this fight on. As they come up towards what would be the end of Sector 1. For the international circuit, but now lost the position out to Handmer. And Handmer now moves up into P2. All of a sudden, Skinner must finish P4 or above to win the round. He'd win it on countback right now for the race win. He needs to get into P3 to solidify it. Ben Faulkner in the chat saying, tough, great to have you, Ben. You are absolutely throttling them right now. 7.5 minutes up the road. Just an absolute, just a domination at this point. I'm surprised that you didn't win race 1. But race 2 starting further up the field has done you absolute benefits here. Your teammate Hamner now is in a intense battle with Banau, who has managed to get past him here. De Vries and Ferguson now battling it out for P6 on the road. De Vries is just trying to cover off of Ferguson. Ben saying, how am I racing and typing? Well, the regular supporters know that this is a replay file broadcast. That Handmer bloke meant to be a wobbler, clearly not. I thought the thing got murder race 1. Yeah, we saw the back end of that. We saw glimpses of that murdering on race 1. He still had a good finish though, top 10 finish and solid chunk of points. But it has been a good one so far. I'm excited next week for Alton Park for what this field could bring. If we can get, if we can combine both the grids of last week and this week, we'd be sitting comfortable at about 15 odd drivers out there. It'd be so good to see. As Handmer has had an incredible night so far. Jordan saying, bro, Ben Faulkner just that good you're able to do that. Yeah, he's that far ahead. He's on the phone and typing as he's driving right now. He is a texting and racing monster here in the Legends field. We have got 4.5 minutes to go of this race though. At this point it would be Riley Skinner that we would be speaking to at the end of the night for a round win. Skinner is trying to get by Banau, who has had an off track there. Skinner's now going to get through into P3. That will solidify his round win if he can hold this position, because Handmer would have to get past Ben Faulkner to at least tie the round win on Skinner. Skinner's actually set the fast lap of the race last time by a 1:14.89. He is rocketing up the field. So if he can sit in this position, he will solidify the round win. If Handmer can somehow make up 7.5 seconds on Ben Faulkner and get past him, he would tie Skinner and they would both win the round. The count back would then be... what would the count back then be? It would be qualifying position, so Skinner would still get it because he qualified on pole. It's the only way we can really not have a tied round is you'd have to go all the way back to qualifying. But right now they've settled into their grooves for the final couple of minutes here. Skinner has now finally offloaded Josh Bernal. Ferguson's still all over. Was that Skinner going around? It was Skinner going around. All of a sudden, the pressure is now on him as Ferguson's also ended up in the wall. I've spoken too soon. All of a sudden, we've had absolute shenanigans, absolute fireworks here. In the final couple of moments, Riley Skinner has dropped below the P4 benchmark that he needed to win the round here tonight. And at the moment, Tyson Hanmer is winning the round based on the points he would get for both races, being that he had a P3 and a P2. Skinner had to finish in the top 4 to get the round win, and now he can't. He's that far gone. He has to try and get past De Vries and Williams if he hopes to do it. Oh, I'll have to change actually, Ben. Thank you for reminding me, actually. Yes, I need to change it. You shouldn't have said anything because I would have forgotten. I'll be honest. My name is Ben Faulkner. We're going to go full Brexit on it as well. It's going to be England flag. There we go. That's fixed it. Oh, I change everyone's flags. Why don't we? Where's Jack? There it is. As Ferguson's also had an incident in the background. So this battle's this race has now absolutely gone off. What we thought was the case in terms of Skinner winning it, as Williams has now gone off, so Skinner now gets a free position. All of a sudden he just has to get past De Vries. Oh my god, it's changed again. It has changed again. The dramas are absolutely continuing here. 1.5 minutes to go in this race. Skinner has to gain 1.6 seconds on Ash De Vries and get past him into P4 to win this round. He's going to have 1, maybe 2 laps to do it as Faulkner crosses the line. He does. He has 1 lap to do it. Faulkner has the white flag. Does Skinner race these IRL? I've got no idea, actually, to be honest with you, Ben. I've got no idea about Riley Skinner. I've never seen him before in my life. I don't know. To be honest with you. But as it stands, Hanmer is winning the round. If De Vries loses a position here to Riley Skinner, Skinner will win the round on the count back for his race win. It is pure dramas on the last lap. It's all going to come down to this lap. If De Vries loses out to Skinner, Skinner will get the round win. If he holds him off, Hanmer will win the round as Faulkner comes down towards the final couple of corners now. In the final run home, in dominant fashion, Ben Faulkner is going to cross the line in the dying embers of this thing. As the timer gets ticked over, Ben Faulkner crosses the line for another victory this season of the Legends World Challenge. Tyson Hanmer is going to come across the line in P2. Currently leading the round, Josh Bernal on the podium. Ash De Vries has got Skinner all over him. He needed another lap to get it done. De Vries and Skinner cross the line, and Tyson Hanmer has won the round based on Skinner dropping out of the top 4. Williams in P6, Anderson in P7. I think Williams just killed Skinner, he did. Anderson in P7, Tippett in P8. Ferguson's going to make up the runners home. Pollard and Brown never finished it out. But what a run. Oh, okay, can confirm Skinner does race IRL. Fair enough then. Fair enough. Very, very good. He is the final boss, apparently. So we have got the challenger for Faulkner as the burnouts begin at the back end of the field. Tyson Hanmer, who unfortunately is already towed back to pits, has won the round here this afternoon after absolute scenes of Skinner dropping out of the much-needed top 4. And he has now lost himself the round win. Unbelievable end to this race. As the burnouts occur, we'll get our feature race results up for you now. It was Ben Faulkner in P1 on the road this afternoon for race number 2 ahead of Tyson Handmer in P2. Handmer wins the round off the back of that. Josh Benow in P3 with Ash DeVries in P4. Riley Skinner, oh so close to winning the round. He finishes in P5. Aidan Williams and Jack Anderson then in P6 and P7. Chase Tippett in P8. Jordan Ferguson was the final finisher on the road in P9. DJ Pollard and Tom Brown then finish in P10 and 11 on the road. We have Handmer in the waiting room. We also have Ben, but unfortunately for Ben, we only talk to the round winner. We cannot make any exceptions. Unfortunately, Ben, it is not personal. We only ever talk to the round winner. Mr. Handmer, unfortunately, Ben's not going to get a chance to speak to us because the ruling is we only ever talk to round winners here. It's just the way it goes. Otherwise, we talk to everyone. But what a race. I mean, all of a sudden, you were equal on the round. You were then losing the round. Then you were all of a sudden winning the round off the back of Skinner making an absolute blunder on his own. Ash DeVries must be getting a Christmas card off you surely for holding him off, because he's just won you the round off that. Up.
To drink, I might send a bottle his way if that's the case. But no, it's good to know that round winners get the luxury of coming into the booth. It means Ben can have a holiday. No, I'm kidding. It's all good. No, it was good fun. Just trying to recollect the races. The first one with Jack was mental. I probably would have gained another position just last lap. Just gave him way too much room, thinking Sebring GT3 V8 supercar kind of thing. I'm always left the inside probably a little too much, and then the second race, obviously with Riley, and I think I had a bit of a battle with Josh as well. So no, good races, both good battles, both races. It was again so much fun.
Well, I mean, Sebring not only for SRW but also IRWC, they've both kind of collectively made up some great racing at Sebring. Alton Park next week. I asked you about it on Friday. A lot of people are excited for that one. It's going to be one hell of a race. Getting a round win, does that now make you a bit more confident for that race? But also seeing how Skinner did and how much pace he had, Faulkner has a proper challenger in Riley Skinner now in this series. You're hoping maybe they have it coming together and you might be able to get on the top step next week?
I don't really hope it. I'd rather see the racing be nice and tight and actually get it on merit. But if things like that happen, then you obviously take it for granted and whatnot. But I'm more like to if I can see two blokes having a real good hard hit at it, then so be it. They deserve to do. They deserve to get the positions. There's a couple of rounds I'll be missing just due to commitments. I'll be at Motorsport Australia in a couple of weeks, so I think it's at Zolder I'll miss. And so I'll miss a few rounds here, but I'll still come in and have a bit of a lob and see where we end up. But it's anyone's championships at the moment, so hopefully everyone gets in and has a bit of fun.
Well, I have just had confirmation by way of a photograph that Riley Skinner does actually race Legends, and he's such a sweat that he races his real life Legends livery on the Legend on iRacing. So. From your opinion, of someone who races with Ben as a teammate, does that match Ben's level of sweat, or is it overtaking him at this point?
I don't think it really matters. IRL and sim, there's a few guys, that race IRL that don't translate it well to the sim. So, I mean, Ben's got a lot of sim experience. So I don't know if Riley's got a lot of sim experience, first time I've actually heard of him on the service, so it'd be nice if we can get some background info on some intel, but if he has real life experience, then I guess he's probably well equipped to get up ahead of Ben. But if backtrack to I think SRW Detroit, Ben was outclassed both races, so if anyone's willing to take the challenge up, then go ahead and have a crack. It'd be good viewing for everyone, and
Well, mate, you've had some exceptional battles so far, especially tonight. I look forward to seeing how you go out at Alton Park next week. Thanks for coming over chat to me here this afternoon. Really, really appreciate it, mate. Hope you enjoyed the action on screen as much as I did. And I look forward to seeing how you go at Alton Park in both sets of races next week. And hopefully you can go one better and maybe even get a race win under your belt.
It'd be nice, but we'll see how we go.
All right, mate. Have a good one.
Too easy. Take care. Cheers.
Thanks, mate. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our round winner, Tyson Hanmer, on screen for us once again. I'm sorry about not bringing in Ben Faulkner, but them's the breaks. We've got to stick to our laurels. We've got to stick to the rules of we talk to the round winner. If it's not a clear-cut round winner, then, yeah, I would have chatted to the race winner. But it was clear-cut, so we knew who the round winner was. And unfortunately, it just meant that Tyson got to have a chat to me instead of Ben, but them's the breaks. So, but we'll see how Ben does. I'm sure he's going to be a round winner at some point this season. I think he was last week at Belle Isle. So he'll be a round winner again. He'll get a chance to come and have a chat to me. And it's just a way of not taking too long in the interview process. But this has been the Legends World Challenge, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a fantastic afternoon of racing here for Sebring Club Circuit. If you have enjoyed the action and you can't wait to see more coming up throughout the rest of this season, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, and the bell icon so you are notified whenever we go racing here on Infinity Broadcasting with any of the iRacing World Challenge series, including the Legends World Challenge at the moment. It has been a phenomenal start to this season thus far. I cannot wait to see how the rest of this season goes. I'm so looking forward to seeing how we go on our European stint over at Alton Park and Zolder and Hockenheim. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I have been Hamish Munro. This has been the Legends World Challenge here on Infinity Broadcasting. Stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.